broadcast of The Curious Mind of Raquel. I am your favorite mermaid mystic and medium. So today's video is going to be all about Mr. President Donald Trump. And the reason that I'm doing this video is because there are several people that wanted me to do a channeled reading on him because of his health. And you know, there's many people that are concerned for his health or don't understand why they, you know, there's been rumor, there's been little porkies running amok and talking about, you know, I think there was even that he passed and things of this nature. Now, I'm going to go ahead and channel and get into what I feel as though is going on with the health of the president, as well as where and why the rumor came in that he had passed. Okay, all right, my darlings. The first thing that is coming in is that he is resilient. He is very strong and sturdy, and he's very strong in the sense that he has great deep vitality. Now, he is a little concerned. I think that from his energy, it's feeling as though if you were to ask him, like, I don't even know, because I don't really watch the news, you know. But for example, if someone were to ask him, you know, oh, Mr. Trump, did you know that, like, people are saying you died or whatever? I think he would be absolutely, completely oblivious to the people that are making up rumors or things that are going on in the internet. Because I feel that, though, there is this form of shielding to the president, as if, like, say, for example, okay, this is a beautiful example that's coming in. You know, I don't know if you ever watched the Downton Abbey. Okay, so do you remember the very first episode? Well, if you don't, you should go watch Downton Abbey. It's not so completely accurate, and some historical people might find it a bit daft, but I loved it, made me feel happy, and I liked it. And so, but the very first episode was when Mr. Grantham was they would all settle in for breakfast, and everyone was coming down. And this is when the newspaper, you know, everyone rushed to get the newspaper. I think he was an earl, wasn't he? He was an earl. And so then everyone, once they got to the table, everyone was talking about the Titanic had sunk. And this feels very indicative to the way that the president is. I think that there's particular protocol, okay? If I were a betting person, okay, that I can see him sitting at a table, you know, a very big, gorgeous table, and I can see many people around that table, and that they're feeding him information. You know, say, for example, this particular thing happened, you really need to address this one is being said, but it's not, it's kind of fluff and stuff, President Trump. But this is how it feels to me, as though, almost as if he's like, oh, I didn't even catch wind of that. I didn't know that happened. When people were talking about him passing, he thinks it's nonsense on stilts, is what he thinks. And he's not even interested in it. He's just like, oh, that's just silliness. You know, these people have left the reservation. Do you understand? They've left the reservation. They've lost the plot, is what I'm telling you. And so I do feel as though he is not mindful of so many things that happen in social media, even although he is on social media. Now, when it comes down to his health, he does not like people talking about his health and saying all these things about his health. He's a little bit leery of them wanting to know about his health, and it's not for the reason that he's hiding anything. Now, I'll tell you, I get a little bit of snickering in there, because the only reason that he's not wanting people to address it is because I bet you he's a little staunchy when it comes to being behind the scenes, and they're saying, oh, Mr. President, you need to cut back on your soda pop or your Coke or whatever. Doesn't he drink Coke or something? I heard my husband told me something about some button or something, that he drinks Coke a lot. And but this is the problem, is that he doesn't have a good healthy lifestyle. And so it's not like but he feels as though, listen, I'm not doing anything really all that bad. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I don't do any of that stuff. And so if I'm going to have a cheeseburger, I'm going to have some nice big steak dinner with a potato or whatever he likes, I don't know, or my Cokes all day long, just back off, leave me alone about it, because this is what I'm doing, And he's like, I think I'm doing fairly well with the age that I'm at, and I'm running the country. Do you understand? I'm running a country. So you can back off, He's very Gemini when it comes to that, because he is a Gemini, right? I'm pretty sure he is. And I know that because Sawyer was a Gemini, my son that passed. But anyway, I think that it's the people that started the rumor are people that are very unkind, and people that are not loving, and people that have an agenda. And what they know is that if you put so many negative things out to the universe, people latch on that don't have a good, healthy mindset. That people that are very fear-based people that are very emotionally activated by their emotions, they're very much play on their emotions, and they do everything from an emotional standpoint, and they're not intelligent. They're not extremely intelligent people. When people that are very motivated by emotion rather than, they lack intelligence. And I'm not saying that to be mean, but I'm saying that this is how the people on the opposite side of the president that don't like him will create these narratives in hopes that it will drive this, because any energy that is negative is still going to impact a person. It still has an impact on person. Do you understand? Even although you think that it doesn't, everything, every negative thought or every energy, every spell that you are saying about someone else, if it's not good and of lovely report, it's going to have a negative impact on them. Now, it's not like, exactly like you're physically doing that, but energetically, confirmation there, energetically you are sending out that vibration. And energy always is, and you can transmute energy and you can turn it into good, and which is a good thing. Okay, so that's one of the positive aspects that I would have to say that Mr. Trump does, is that he is able to really stay in a mindset that is optimistic and positive. And I don't know where he learned that from, probably early rearing of childhood, that he's a very optimistic person. He's also a Gemini, so that very much plays into the whole Gemini aspect of being very, very optimistic, okay? Very, it's that twin situation you got going there, which is very, very much where they really have this sense of like, yeah, no, I wouldn't call it egotistical, but some people might call it, but it's just very much confidence, extreme confidence. Geminis exude that very, very well. So that is where that is stemming from, I think. And also, of course, his child rearing. And he learned that probably from a very good mother figure, because it feels very motherly. And the reason I'm saying that is the feminine is coming through there. Now, I think that someone else said that there was something, can you check into it? Because of his health, he had some kind of bruising here. And that they said, oh, it's because he shakes loads of hands. That's not what it is, darlings. What it is it's his age for one thing. And I'm sure that they're always checking his vitals and things of that nature, because he's probably got a doctor right on hand all the time, at all times, and in all places. And so they will check vitals. And so it's very normal for them to check them in their wrist and their hand here, because I'm seeing needles or, being touched a lot. And if you notice, and the reason that I know this, one reason is because my parents are almost 80, okay? And Trump, I don't know how old he is, but I'm thinking he's getting up there. Isn't he in his late 70s, or is he 80? I don't know. But anyway, if you just touch an old person and they've had maybe the aspirin, because it's a natural blood thinner, they'll get bruising it just takes, I could go like that and you'll get a bruise. And so if he's been taking too many aspirin or, blood thinner too much, that he's going to have loads of bruising. He's probably got loads of bruising like on his arms and things of that nature as well, But the swelling in his ankles is very much from the sodium. And I would suggest that President Trump, obviously, you know, I can just send out this beautiful energy that he will be mindful of, you know, cut back on the sodium, because that's what's swelling him, as well as the salt, but not so much the salt as the sodium. Sodium is really, really high in his body, and I can sense it very much in his lower body, okay? And I don't know if he did actually indeed get the shot. I know that I saw that he got the shot. However, this could be some adverse effects of that as well, but he's being very, very tended to. He's being strategically tended to in a very, very deep manner, and especially because this happened with the last president, where there was loads of controversy, you know, discriminative things, and very, very secretive in that sense. And so I do believe that Mr. Trump is trying to be as front facing as he can with the public. But, you know, someone's health, honestly, you know, as long as he's being honest, which he is, and he feels very sure and confident that he is being honest with the public, that his health is not our business, you know. And now I understand people will say, oh, well, he is our president, so we should have a right to know. Yeah, if there's something that comes up and arises that is very detrimental for him being able to perform his duties, he would be very quick to say that. He would be very upfront, because he's a very upfront person. This is another aspect of a Gemini. They're very in your face. They'll tell you exactly how it is and what time of day it is. So you can be very rest assured that he will and he would be honest with you, if that was the case. But these little nuances that, you know, oh, my blood pressure is a little off, or, you know, I might have a bit of cholesterol problem, but you know what, I'm fully functioning, I'm doing pretty well, you know, I mean, I'm doing really, really good. He's very confident in that. So he's like, you know, it's none of your business when it comes to a degree. To a degree, it's not really any of your business. Just, you know, let's get on to deeper matters. Do you understand? Why you're focusing on the bruising on my hand? Get over it. We'll put some makeup on it and let's keep it going. Keep it going. And this is how I feel very much that he is doing. Now, I know there's loads of people that don't like him, and that's understandable. But I'm reading the energy as Source would see Mr. Trump, okay? And how I would read anyone. That I try not to have a narrative or my personal opinion. This is what's coming in through spirit, okay? So I hope that was helpful to you, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you would ever like to have a reading, I am a medium and I channel. I don't use tarot cards, but I offer readings in my little Etsy shop. And I only have a few up every couple of days, because, like I said, it takes loads out of me, darlings. But I offer those at a very reasonable price, because it's not about the money. It's about me trying to help and connect you with people that you love, or lost loved ones, or, you know, you want direction in a job, or what you think you should do here, or, you know, there's just so many things that people, you know, need assistance with, and I'm here to be of service to you. And but anyway, you can find that link and description in the box below. And if you would like to purchase my books and support my work or my artistry, I have my books as well from Amazon, my little storybooks, and also a couple of things in my little Etsy shop. So tinkle down there on the little links if you would like, and see if anything touches your fancy. And I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you derive benefit from it. And as always, I'm most affably yours until my next swim. Cheers, darlings. Toodle pip.